definitely makes me feel like I would have started this sooner. What are you waiting for? You know, everyone. My name is Danny. As a project engineer, I mainly just do a lot of coordination. You know, holding meetings, coordinating with the team, looking at schedule, making sure schedule is being followed.
High occupation, high salary position. You're already doing well right now. What made you feel like you could have done better?
Definitely, I try to think ahead, try to
Okay.
plan for the future. So just setting myself up in the best position, you know, to be successful. And I feel like investing early, whether that means, you know, making mistakes early on, that's just a learning process. So I'd rather make those mistakes now or learn those lessons now and kind of just feed myself that knowledge. And then later, future me will thank me. So I think the starting early is the best move.
Yeah, and I think I like working with people like you is because like not a lot of people say that. Like
Mhm.
what you're saying right now. Could you tell us a little bit about like your goals coming into, working with us specifically? Like what do you want to have accomplished by the end of us working together or like in the future? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, when I first, you know, before entering this course, I had little to like no knowledge of investing. I just had like a Robinhood account. You know, I built that when I was 18 through like I want to say like almost $6,000 dollars into that account. Had a couple ETFs, wasn't really investing much into that. So it was kind of just sitting there for a good while, and I knew in the back of my head that you know that was something that I wanted to grow upon. And I feel like taking this course, like I mean, you're introduced to like the structure of like investing, step by step, and like it's just so organized, so simple. I mean, it's really easy to follow, and then the constant you know check in that Simon has is great. I mean, like you know, he checks in with you daily, you know, making sure, you know, you're tracking your spending, tracking your investing. And then, you know, he's always there to like reassure if you have any questions or concerns or comments. I think it's
Yeah.
very great. So, I
Yeah,
mean,
and
my goals,
yeah.
sorry, I was gonna say real quick, my goals
Yeah.
personally was just to, you know, build upon my future, build upon my investing and just get a better idea of what the stock market is, you know, what I should be looking at, and, you know, where to basically track all of this that's going on.
Okay. Yeah, and I appreciate you sharing that, and we could definitely get into like the step by step process on how we work together and got you, the results that we're gonna mention later on.
Yeah.
Back to the point of Robinhood and investing while you were 18, you had, um, I believe it was $10,000, right, in that Robinhood account initially.
Yeah. Well, I invested, yeah, 6,000. So I grew it to
6,000.
10,000. Yes.
Okay. And what kind of prevented you from that time from, investing that lump sum amount when you were
Hmm.
18 to like now to made you want to like stop investing? What made you want to stop investing between 18 to, where we're at right now and 23? Like during
Yeah.
those 5 years, what kind of stopped you, bro?
I think I was just scared. I think I didn't want to, you
Okay.
know, invest my money into the wrong things or invest my money into something that's like, you know, high risk. I
Mm,
feel like I personally, like I said, I had little to no research of the stock market and you know how to track it. So
yeah.
I was just scared that I was gonna, you know, invest my money and then, you know, kind of just basically let it go down. So my knowledge in general, when it came to that wasn't great. So I just, you know, I feel like that was kind of wasted time on my end. But like
Mm.
I said, you're young. You know, you want to make mistakes now. So in the future, you know, you could just build upon that and, you know, take those lessons learned.
And with those lessons learned on what we kind of work together on, how'd you kind of find your? I know you mentioned this briefly, but specifically, like what was kind of your experience working with me in general in terms of working together? What was that kind of experience for you?
Yeah, I think it was a great experience. I mean, you know, the structure that was set at the beginning, you know, it's a clear, you know, what the goals are, what the schedule is going to be like, you know, what we're intending to learn meeting by meeting, what things we're going to discuss about, check-ins, tracking your spending as well, looking at the stock market, how to, you know, define like if there's a stock that you should buy, if there's a stock that you should avoid. I think it's very helpful in general. You know, like the constant check-ins and reassurance is great too, because it's like you know, it kind of builds a habit of like you know making sure you're tracking your spending, and then also making sure you have a good habit of looking into the stock market. You know, because it
Yeah.
changes daily. So that's something that in the past I feel like I wouldn't do. I would just you know look at it occasionally. I wouldn't track it. I wouldn't track my spending. So being in this course, I feel like it definitely gets you to not only like invest, but also like invest in yourself as well. So like I guess like mindset wise, habit wise as well, and just being more organized and structured in your investing in general.
Right, because yeah, I mean, you could technically find all this knowledge like on YouTube,
Yeah.
Reddit, right? Like, but at the same time, if one person's telling you this and another person's contradicting you on like a Reddit thread, buy gold or oh no, you should buy this ETF, like you're kind of at a standstill.
Yeah.
And what's the cost of you doing nothing, right? You're losing the effects of compound interest. So I think that's like the main thing people kind of struggle about, and that's totally understandable. But that's gonna cost them a fuck ton of money.
Hmm.
Could you walk us through, like, in terms of like money systems and kind of the kind of structure? Like, I know we're halfway into working, or a little like we just started halfway through in terms of time frame, but during those like 2 months, can you walk us through like what was that process like from start to finish, from that first onboarding call or first initial call actually to the onboarding call to where we're at right now? Can you walk us through what we kind of did start to finish?
Yeah, I think just building habits was the first one. Building budgets for yourself, kind of tracking your spending, seeing where your money's actually going. That's something that I wasn't doing in the past, so that was super helpful because you could see like what the money that comes in, and the money that you're spending as well. So, I think setting categories, setting budgets for yourself, was super helpful. As well as looking into the market and how to read it, establishing what's a stock, such as like an ETF. Also looking at like what are dividends. How can you invest into that too, and then how can you grow upon that as well. So I think those things were super helpful, and they help you kind of navigate and build your own journey in investing. There was like homework that you had left over, or homework that was provided that kind of how teaches you to kind of do your research and look at these stocks, if you're ever looking to invest into one. So I think that was super helpful as well.
We could all talk about learnings and also investments, but what was the kind of result that we made there? So I'm looking at our result right now in terms of passive investments, like from February 14th to right now, we made an extra, or like in 2 weeks we made an extra $500 per month in investments just by having the system set up, and 2 weeks later, just letting it run. And in 2 weeks, we made an extra $500.
Hmm.
Not only that, like if we, I know we're in the middle of March, but if we continue to go down the money system and adhering to the budget, we could potentially make an extra $2,000 plus that $500. Now, with the money system and with the investment strategies that we've implemented for you and the results that we've gotten, is that aligning with your expectations and what you were specifically looking for in coaching and mentorship? Did it hit the mark in terms of quality and impact?
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, this whole course is a good learning experience. Definitely teaches you to kind of build a habit of tracking your spending, looking at the market, and then also seeing like the small amounts that you're putting in. Eventually, they evolve into profit, right? And you look at your profit, and that makes makes you happy that you're kind of building that system. And then that system, as it's growing, it just becomes easier and easier over time to kind of just track and read.
Yeah, and with consistently making new profits, I know we're kind of new and working together, man. Like, I guess looking in terms of the future, how that kind of help you out, man, in terms of if we were to, multiply this, a couple zeros, in the future, taking a look at 6 months down the line, a year down
Mhm.
the line, using the same strategies, what would your life kind of look like then?
I mean, I'd be happy. I'd be great. It'd be great to, experience that and seeing that growth. Definitely makes me feel like, I would have started this sooner, like, it's just like, what are you waiting for, but, it's great. I mean, the system's built for like you to succeed. It's built for you to learn, and it's built for you to, kind of, like I said earlier, develop your own journey in investing. And it's a process as well. It's a learning process, and it's great. I mean, it's super helpful. Definitely something I'd recommend to my friends and family as well.
Yeah. And speaking of that, bro, like I know it kind of made a difference for you in terms of, having that money structure and finally knowing like what to invest in and having systems in place.
Mhm.
But for anyone, it doesn't even have to be just engineers. Like anyone who's working full time and just investing into specific amounts and kind of confused on what to do. For anyone who's maybe unsure or hesitant in reaching out or even just booking a kind of free call like we did together, like what would you say for a person like that?
I mean, I was in that same boat, I feel like there was a time in my life where like I said earlier, I wasn't really, the thought of investing always crossed my mind, but I just didn't know where to start. I didn't know what to look into, what the process was. And I think the first initial call we had, just that first call, which was just, kind of you running me through the system, the topics we were going to cover, what the course is about. I think it's helpful, man. I mean, definitely is worth your time to at least, something to consider, something to take time to listen to and decide if it's right for you. I mean, I personally, was happy and I'm glad and I'm satisfied that I took this course, because it, like sets me, like I said, it sets up a system for you to, once you eventually end the course, you can handle it yourself. You have a more confident understanding of investing, and it's something that you can definitely start to track, and you'll see the growth, you see the results. I mean, they speak for themselves. And yeah, I mean, definitely something that I would recommend to my friends. So I would definitely recommend, at least taking time to listen to this course and seeing if it's a right fit for you.
With this mentorship, with us working together, we mentioned the money systems, we mentioned an onboarding call, we mentioned the investment system, and we mentioned the accountability. Those three things. What
Yeah.
was your favorite part? What was your favorite feature?
I think the accountability system definitely is
Really?
good.
How
Yeah.
so? How so? What do we do, bro? What made
For
it
the
your favorite?
accountability, I mean, that kind of is like, correct me if I'm wrong. So I mean, that was like, the first day, right? So you kind of just like set yourself up to look at your tracking or your spending. So you track, like, you kind of seeing that, like, looking at my spending, seeing what things that I was spending in general. Like, some things are more want than needs. So it kind of gets you to kind of lock in and see, like, is this really more of a want or is this more of a need? And like, once you have that mindset, it kind of cleans up the room for you to, have more money to invest in. And it kind of makes you kind of, be more responsible, at least for me, be more responsible in your spending, seeing if it's something that you absolutely need or if it's something that you just like want at the moment. So, like, for example, we break out the rental cost, the utility cost, grocery cost, food cost, and we still set money aside for shopping and entertainment, which is good. But at the same
Yeah.
time, you building that bucket or that limit for yourself, it's good because it gets you to have a better understanding of where your money is actually going rather than just, I guess, like, kind of loosely spending it and not really tracking it, because I feel like at that point you're not investing in yourself in general.
Yeah. And without that system, like I talk to a lot of people like that are interested in investing,
Hmm.
but one of the fundamentals and the foundations is you have to track your spending because how much are you like how are you going to structure your portfolio if you're not going to structure your spending?
Yeah.
You have to have a certain amount per month, and if you don't know that amount, if you don't know X, then you can't get results. You're
Yeah.
like you're gonna be bleeding money basically if you don't
Hmm.
know that specific amount to invest first. So yeah, man. Um, well, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys. Comment the word system or DM me the word system if you want one-on-one guidance or a free call on how we could find bottlenecks to solve where you're currently at in terms of pain points, how we could improve upon those. And yeah, again, comment, DM me the word system, and I'll send you my link.